What is up, guys, and welcome to the Meeple Minded podcast, the podcast where we talk all things tabletop gaming. My name is Jason.
And I'm Ant.
How are you doing this weekend?
Pretty good, so you?
Yeah, not bad at all, mate. Not bad at all. I'm awake. I'm alive. These are things I can't say every week. What about you?
I'm awake and I'm alive.
Excellent, excellent. Intro ramble done, I think.
Done and done.
What more is there to say? I understand you've had a really good week with gaming.
I have. I've had a week off of work, so yeah, gaming galore, mate. A really, really good week of gaming. I'm not going to lie to you, to be honest.
So jealous.
Fun
so
times have been had. Kickstarters have been arriving, so
wow.
What can I say? Not that I've played the Kickstarters yet or anything, but
well, how often do we really get Kickstarters straight to the table, though?
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of gaming.
Yeah.
I managed to get some gaming done at the my club on Monday.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of that done. We had a games night.
We had a games
last
night,
week
we did.
because we didn't record last week, so we were able to game, which was nice.
But you went to Paul's game day as well.
I have, yeah. I went to Paul's game day. So I've had a decent amount of gaming going on in the last couple of weeks, which is really, really good. And we're going to talk about a couple of those games in a minute, I guess.
Yeah.
But do you want to tell us about what some of your Kickstarters have arrived and what they are?
So the first Kickstarter that arrived was the expansion for Planet Unknown, the Supermoon expansion.
Love Planet Unknown.
I know. I missed that game. I'm not going to lie to you. We had that run where we played it for X amount of weeks, and now it just sits there. Yeah. But no, I can't wait to bring it back. But yeah, Supermoon expansion, from what I know, is that you have a moon to deal with as well as your planet on this one.
Yeah.
There is more to it. You get like little satellites and stuff that you need to deal with, as well as other modifiers where 4 players can build a planet all in one.
Yeah.
So you have like a quarter each of the planet and you deal with it yourself, sort of thing. So there's a lot to take in, a lot of new rules to do, and a lot of modifiers to go with it. But let's hope it's worth the wait, because I think I waited nearly 2 years for that.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. So because they kept saying they were going to release it for Essen, and of course because they hadn't released it the Kickstarter yet, so they were like, we kind of can't do that yet. So
I mean, respects to them for doing that.
Absolutely,
because there's a lot of companies that don't.
No, absolutely,
and it'd just be like, well, you're getting a slightly better quality.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it turns out you're not getting a better quality. It's the same game that they're playing, selling at Essen. So yeah, respects to them for doing that. I think more companies should take note of that, to be fair.
Yeah, but for anyone that doesn't know what Planet Unknown is, it's obviously a polyomino game where you build your own planet with a lazy Susan that has all your little discs, and you spin it until you want the one you want, then every other player gets to pick it and do your turn all simultaneously, isn't it? So
I remember because we did an episode on
we reviewed it,
base game Planet Unknown,
right,
didn't we? And I know I came across as quite negative, really, with regards to the cost of the game, because I said it's all based on that lazy Susan.
Yeah, it is, though, and it's all,
and it really is.
It is, yeah.
But it's got some good gameplay to it.
Oh, 100%, mate. I still own the game at the end of the day. So even though, like I said, we haven't played it for a while, I still own it. I don't plan to get rid of it anytime soon.
No, and the best thing that I have to say about that game is it goes to 6 players?
Yes, it does.
And it doesn't matter if you're playing it with 6 players. No. It still takes the same amount of time because it's all simultaneous.
In fact,
really good.
I prefer it with a high count.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
If you've got a big enough table for it, obviously. But I think it's one of those games that a lot of people like saying, I don't like playing Scythe with 6 or 7 players. But this one, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think you could pay me to play Scythe at the high player count, to be completely honest. Whereas
if you've got
Planet
the time,
Unknown, 100%, I'll be in there.
Quicker.
Yeah,
quicker,
it's nice, punchy, sharp, just how we like the games. As we know, I'm not a huge fan of long-winded games, so Planet Unknown keeping the time down is good. Really looking forward to getting that to the table. Yes, actually, we need to get that to the table sooner rather than later.
As soon as I learn the rules for the expansion, most definitely, mate. I cannot wait.
Nice. I haven't actually received any Kickstarters recently. However, I have been made aware that Tabletop Inc. is on its way, formerly known as
Meeple. Right, yes. I remember that episode we did about that a while ago.
Yeah. So obviously this is the game that was originally called Meeple Inc. and then the basically cease and desist came from Handsome Gluck.
That's it.
Because they weren't happy about the term Meeple being used, despite the fact that 450,000 other games used the term Meeple.
As well as podcasts.
As well as podcasts. So, yeah, not really sure what went on there or what they did to step on the wrong toes. but obviously it was renamed. They stopped using the term Meeple in the game. I think they're now Moomans or something like that.
Okay.
Meeple humans, or I don't know.
Wow.
They obviously had to change the design of the Meeples in the game. It's a whole load of things that have delayed this game, but I'm really looking forward to when it arrives.
Let's just hope it's worth the wait after all this now.
Well, yeah, I really hope so, especially as I've gone all deluxeified on that one as well. So
excellent.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that turning up. But any other Kickstarters turned up for you?
One more showed up for me, which I didn't know because I was expecting it later. Critter Kitchen. Critter Kitchen.
Yeah.
From the guys that did Flamecraft.
Yes. Yeah. Same art style as well, isn't it?
Same art style. I've read the rules. I have learned the game. I've not played it yet, though, but it is very much like Flamecraft.
Okay.
The very last round, you have to... If no one knows what Critter Kitchen is, it's, again, you play as a chef that owns a restaurant. You have other chefs, and you have to put them on the board to receive ingredients to make meals for obviously your customers and stuff. But the very last round, and I think this is quite unique to the game, is that you have to try and impress a food critic.
Okay.
To get even more points at the very, very end. So not only are you building up customers for 6 rounds, but on the 7th round, you are trying to impress the critic to give you more stars for your restaurant. And who has the better restaurant obviously wins.
Nice.
Super looking forward to getting that to the table. Again, love Flamecraft. I think this is going to be an instant winner for me, and quite possibly could be in the top 10 of the year already. And we're already in February, so
yeah, I mean it's possible. It is possible. We speak very highly of Flamecraft here. It's a game that is solidly in my collection, hasn't left. And there's always been. I mean, I haven't played it for a while, but I'm happy it's still here.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And I remember when that one hit crowdfunding, I was like, yes, I want that. But then obviously found out that you were going to back it, so I was like, well, there's no point in both.
On the last episode we did, I negated it because I didn't like the art style of it. Remember what we said on the last episode. So yeah, it was like one of those ones I wish I kickstarted. I do own the game, but it's one of those ones I wish I had got earlier.
Yeah,
but yeah,
no, that's fair. So yeah, should we talk about some games that we've been playing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe pick a game each that we want to highlight, the games that we've been playing, before we get on to our main topic of the episode.
Yes.
So, what games have you been playing, Anne? What ones would you like to highlight?
I can't wait to talk about this. I've been waiting all week to talk about this.
I think that's why I subconsciously said I'm going to let you go first.
Exactly. You knew I was going to bring this up.
See it.
And it's right there in the back there. I finally got to play Rock Hard 1977, and good God, what a game it is. I love this game. It was one that I highly anticipated last year. Got you guys into it, and to what you knew about it. Then we saw it at Expo, and then you were like, "And I think I'll buy this." I was like, "Okay, fine. As long as one of us gets it, I don't care. I just need to play this."
Yep.
And the wait was so worth it. It was everything I wanted, from its theme to its components to its gameplay. Devere knocked out the park with this one, and actually getting it from one of the designers was an actual rock star or something.
Yes, so she was. I think the singer or the bassist in the Runaways. So,
right, there we go. So
Cherry Bomb is probably their biggest song.
So massive, help from her, and it shows the love that's gone into this game. I mean, it's got some of the best paper money I've seen since the M word.
Yeah.
So. And even you pointed out, I never knew this, but even you pointed out, even each note in the game has something different unique on it, from lipstick or coffee stain or someone's girl's number or something. Yep. It's like, just these little touches. It's just something, something has so much love has gone into this.
Yeah, 100%.
And I have not stopped thinking about this game since we played it. This is a week ago we played this, didn't we?
A week tonight.
It's gone in the basket. It's gone out the basket, in and out, in and out. I was like, no, I won't buy it. Jason has it. I don't need to buy it. But wow, thank you for finally getting this to the table, teaching it. And I'm gutted we didn't play this last year, because this would have easily been in the top 3 of 2024.
Yeah. I do have to agree. I think it would be in my top 5. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very, very good game. The theme is fantastic. I've already talked about it previously on with James. And it's going to be a big spoiler really, because I am going to do a video review for Rock Hard. Mm-hmm. But as I said, spoilers. I love this game. Yeah. It's a great game. But yeah, I'm really glad we finally got to play it. Unfortunately, we only got to play it as 2-player.
We did, so
I will say the game is better, even better, at a higher player count.
Yeah, so I look forward to that.
You'll enjoy playing that at a higher player count. So I'll talk about another game that we played together. I've also played this in other groups as well, which was Rumblebots.
Yes,
which is one of the other games that I bought at Essen.
We did, yeah.
Actually, I think it was from the same stand, ironically, as Rock Hard. It wasn't De Beer Games, but they were selling together DV Games. And this is the, I guess, love child, if you like, of Robot Quest Arena, Challengers, and I guess some deck building games in there as well. Yeah. Where you start your game with 3 cards. 3 robots that you will be using to battle the other robots, and you're building up your hand by purchasing from the open drafting area in the middle.
Yep.
But obviously, depending on what level your mechanic workshop, I think it is at, it depends on what cards you can buy. And then, of course, you've got the synergies between the robots. Right, yeah. So, like, when you are fighting, there isn't really that much synergy. But then when you win the fight, you then pick a house. And then any robot you've used in that fight that belongs to that house, you can keep them out. And all of their shields meld together. Yeah. And that's then your defense against someone attacking you. And, of course, that just keeps going around the table until there's last man standing. That person is declared the champion for the round, and they win that round. But the interesting thing about that game, man, that I really, really liked was it's a 6-round game, and you could win 5 of the 6 rounds and not win the game. Because the only round that matters is the very last round.
And that's what I was about to jump in on that. And it's like, that's what I liked about this game, is that it's like, well, he's beaten me 5 times out of 6. Is there really any point carrying on? I was like, well, no, I could still take this home at the end of the day.
Still smash me. Yeah.
So it doesn't give you that essence of, well, why should I bother with the next round now? Yeah. Because, like you said, I can still take this home. And I thought that was an interesting little mechanic.
And it nearly did as well, because I made a big mistake in going from round 5 to round 6. I scrapped a load of my robots in order to get money to buy bigger and powerful robots. But then that meant I was limiting my cards in my hands. And of course, because you're not actually seeing what robots you're playing, like my best robots could come out first, and then once you've beaten them, I'm on the uphill battle then, aren't I? So, you know, there is a real strategy there as to balancing hand size or you know, deck size really with your robots, and also trying to chain the robots in families so that you basically, if you can have cards that have 1 or 2 different family types on it, so you're only using those cards, you're always going to have a good defense. But yeah, it's a really, really interesting game. I'm going to try and do a video on this one, but the list of videos is getting quite long, at the moment. So yeah, if I can do it, I might do it as like a one-off special.
Right.
But we'll see. But I want to play Rumblebots a bit more, because I think there's some nuances in that game that I haven't found.
Well, yeah, I mean, my experience of it was I just couldn't get enough scrap to upgrade them better. So again, I was only trying to learn the game at the same time. So hopefully, going back a second time, I'll be like, right, actually, I can do this, upgrade this now, scrap this now, and then buy even better cards.
So yeah, scrap.
That's what I was worried about this time. I was worried about losing robots.
Yes.
To buy new robots.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I obviously didn't mention scrap is money in the game, isn't it? And you gain more of that if you scrap old robots or recycle old robots. The track for scrap goes all the way up to 30, I think it was.
Which I don't know how.
And we got nowhere near that, which tells me there's something I'm doing that isn't optimum, which I want to find that. I want to find what that sweet spot is and see if we can figure it out.
Very interesting artwork. Like the level 1s and 2s are just basic, cartoony rip-offs of other video games. And then when you get to like level 5, is it the highest?
4 is the highest,
It's like these over-the-top manga anime style robots that are like, you know, taking the mickey out of Optimus Prime, but this is like, how have you gone from that to this artwork? It's very, very interesting.
It's kind of like, imagine robots that you get as kids in a weekly magazine that you build yourself. That's level 1. Yeah. And then Gundam is like the top.
Exactly.
It's the top level. You know, it's nice to see that progression. It's an interesting, you know, a lot of people I don't think will have picked up on that nuance really of the different levels being clearly visually more powerful. You know, and as they get bigger and bigger, they're more powerful, they're more chunky.
It makes sense,
special.
But it's just weird how you're used to this art, and then oh, hang on, we're going to the next level now, and it does show. But yeah,
very, very interesting. Love that game a lot. Do you want to talk about another game that you've played this week?
Yeah, I met with my family the weekend and I introduced them to For a Crown.
Oh, so we were going to play this as well. Weren't we?
But unfortunately, it's a minimum of 3 players. We only had the 2, so we couldn't play it. But this time of recording, it's only been out for a couple of weeks, and this was one we saw at Days of Wonder interview we did. But we couldn't say anything about it. And when the box was come out and showed the components of it, my eyes just lit up. I didn't even care what the gameplay was like. I was just like, I love this. But anyone who doesn't know what For a Crown is, it's basically a very medieval animal looking type game where you are basically trying to win for a crown, and each player has a treasure chest that has card sleeves in it with some currency in it, and every round you are buying a mercenary, and the mercenary will do certain things. And what you do is when you buy this mercenary, you put one of your card sleeves on it, which has your color, your banner, if you will, and you put it into the deck, and you will create a deck. And then obviously at the end of the round, you shuffle that deck and then you deal out the cards. So if my mercenary comes out, it will say someone, okay, get rid of a coin or get rid of a ruby. Anything to basically screw people over. And that's what I love about this game. It's so cute and cuddly, but it's like if it was Game of Thrones for animals. But like I said, the little treasure box you get, the card sleeves and the other components, there's other ways you can screw people over. It is a fantastic game. My family absolutely love this. My brother-in-law is like, I think, on the urge of buying it, to be honest. He really, really likes it. So easy to play, so fun. It goes up to like 5 players, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it if you want like a filler game, because I think it's like a 40-minute game, if that. But no, fantastic game. And I'm glad we got to see it at Days of Wonder, because if I hadn't, I would not have known about this game. It would have gone under the radar, and I probably wouldn't get to play it at all. So I'm quite glad we got to see it.
It's a really, really good concept to the game, because obviously I can only talk about what we saw at the press preview there. And it seems like a very interesting game. It's one that I said to you, it was like, second I knew you got it, it's like, I want that on the table. We need to play that.
We will. As soon as we get enough players for it, then most definitely, mate. I can't wait for you to try it.
Hopefully we can get that to the table next week or something like that. I'm going to talk about one more game.
Go for it.
And this is not a particular... I mean, I guess it is a new game, but we've played it quite a few times now, but I don't really know if I've talked about it, which is Flip 7.
Oh, yes,
which is, I believe, on the box as the best card game in the world.
It is a pretty good card game, though.
It's a pretty damn good card game. I'm not so sure I'd go that far, but very good card game, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Has a nice element of push your luck involved in it, as well as, trying to screw other people as well with the take that cards that are included in it. So again,
Flip free and whatnot, isn't it?
Exactly, So very, very quickly, Flip 7 is probably the easiest game we've talked about today.
It's blackjack, essentially.
Basically, so you'll have a dealer. They'll deal out a card to every single person. Those cards range from 0 to 12.
That's right.
And the deck is made up of those cards with 0, there's only 1 card of it. 1, there's only 1 card of it.
So but then there's 12, 12s, 11, 11s,
exactly. 2 2s, 3 3s, all that kind of stuff. And then you've got some take that cards in there as well, as you said, the strip. So everyone is dealt out a card. The dealer will then go to a person, would you like another card?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, stick or twist. Stick or twist. And you can just keep going around the table like this. But if at any point you get a double, i.e. 2 12s, you're bust. You're out of the game. You don't score any points. If at any point you decide, do you know what? That's all good for me. I'll stick there. You add up your points on your cards, the numbers. That's your points for the round. First one to 200, I believe it is.
It is,
is declared the winner. Or triggers the end of the game.
Triggers the end of the game,
and then whoever gets the highest.
Exactly. People can still be in the game until they bust, and they can still beat that potential score,
But also there's the push your luck element, that if you manage to push yourself to having 7 cards that are all different, you instantly end that round. And you win the round. No one else can continue.
That's right.
You score the points that you have in front of you. Everyone else still scores what they had.
Oh, of course,
But you
can't
stop the end of the round. It stops them from doing it. Like I said, the take that element of it, really, really good as well, where you if you're dealt a card that's like flip 3, you can either play it on yourself or you can play it on someone else. If you've only got 1 card, maybe a flip 3 might be good for you. You might force yourself to go bust because you can't stop halfway through.
Or you might force yourself to get closer to a flip 7.
You might.
What do you want to do?
You had the likes of the freeze cards, which are either freeze yourself or freeze someone else out of a round. You don't stop them from scoring the points that they already have. But if you draw that first, as in your first card, that's pretty good because you can freeze someone out of the round, especially if they're winning. So yeah, I really, really like Flip 7. It's in a massive box that doesn't need to be in.
No, but I do believe there is another version of it that just comes in a small box like Bandito.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yeah, I believe like all the review copies that they sent out came in a much smaller box.
Yeah.
And I hear on the grapevine that the box will become smaller. Why they didn't
kind of needs to be honest.
It does. Why they didn't just do it in the first place, I don't know.
No,
but
I don't.
You know, whatever. It is what it is. But Flip 7 is a fantastic little game. I'm not so sure I'd say it's the best card game in the world.
It'd definitely be in my top 5, I'm not going to lie.
But it's pretty up there.
Yeah.
It's pretty up there. It's in the top 10 for me. I'm not sure if it makes top 5, but it's pretty good. I want a few more plays of that because I've been playing it a fair bit recently.
Nice pick.
Might have to buy that game myself. We'll see.
Go for it, mate.
But yeah, I think we'll leave games there for now because we've got a topic to talk about. We do. Now, I'm not even sure how I got onto this one. It might have something to do with the fact that my son was down over the weekend and we played some games. And I had to ask myself, or someone was laughing around and joking with me that, you know, much like when we play games together, I go quite hard on wanting to win, right? And if I don't win, I get very upset and I become the kingmaker and I decide who wins. Apparently, I do the same when I'm playing with my son. And they think that that is wrong. Now, I'm not sure whether I disagree with this sentiment because I believe in teaching my son, you know, lessons in life. And one of the life lessons that I think every child needs to learn is life is tough. You can't win all the time. But at the same time, some people view playing games with kids as a chance to let them win. And a lot of times they will let them win or they'll go easy on them and stuff like that. And I know you play games with your kids.
Certainly, yeah.
Where do you stand on this? Am I that guy? Am I being a bit harsh on my son?
I'm going to say you kind of might be. I mean, I don't go all hard in with my kids at the end of the day because it's a hobby I really like, and it's one of these hobbies that can help them learn as well as get rid of screen time as well.
Yes.
So I want to try and invoke them to play more.
Right.
So if I have to do that, if I have to make them win a couple of times, then they might want to keep going back to it and, you know, oh, I want to play that game. Do you remember when we played this game and it does this? And like, I want to have that sort of enthusiasm when it comes to games. And then when they play it a bit more, I might, you know, go all hard in then.
Right.
But at the starter of it, especially when it's a new game, I try and get them into like, or help them out every now and then to get them to win.
I can actually understand that, and you know, I think people were being a little bit harsh on me. I wouldn't say that I go all in on playing games with my son, mainly because the games that we play aren't the kind of games that I would go, I must win this.
No, exactly, yeah.
You know
As I say, it depends on the game you play at the end of the day.
You know, and he has good memories. Like I think of Cobra Paw, for example. He's always talking about Cobra Paw and how he loves playing it. And you can't play it with Daddy because he'll crush your fingers. And that's pretty true. I'm a fat guy. I do slam down on the table.
You're not meant to slam down, Jason.
But, you know, it's creating memories for him. And he will then go to my brother, for example. He's like, oh, yeah, we need to play this game because this game's really fun. This is why. But you can't play it with Daddy sort of thing. And, you know, and that's what I ultimately am trying to achieve is creating fond memories of these things. And, you know, he loves Cora Quest. He loves Cobra Paw, you know, amongst a lot of the other games we have. Monkey Palace, stuff like that. I would say when we've been playing Monkey Palace recently, I've seen... I could score a 10 pointer here. But
do you do it?
But do I do it? And you get that sort of moral dilemma going on in your head of, should I? Because he's not going to be able to do that himself. And then you sort of talk yourself out of it, and then the little sod goes and does it himself.
Oh, there you go.
And you think to yourself, why am I going easy on this kid?
But then you've kind of taught him well. Because if you hadn't, he wouldn't have noticed something like that. It might have taken him a little while to go, oh, actually, I can do that. But
so would you say, because I find playing games with children is not too dissimilar of trying to teach a game to a new group. I have to sort of judge up what, should the rules teacher be able to win the game? Should they win the game? When I hear people saying that and I think it, I also think to myself, no, why should I let these new people win the game? At the end of the day, they're not learning the game properly if I'm deliberately not doing a good, an optimum move.
True.
I would be more inclined to lean towards I'm going to do that move, but I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that move and why it benefits me, so that you can really see how the game is working in my favour.
Yeah.
And I kind of try and do that with my son as well. And I don't think he picks up on it all the time, which it's kind of annoying, because it's then like when we play again and I'm having to tell him the same thing as to why I'm doing it. It's like, pay attention. I'm basically telling you how to beat me here. And he doesn't pick up on it again. It's like, do you know what? Next time I'm just going to smash you into the ground. But there's no, I can't do that. He's 10 years old. Come on, calm down, Jason.
Calm down, Jason. So do you give them like little hints that you could potentially do this, or like I recently played. We talked about it earlier, but we played Flamecraft for the first time. So I had to teach my wife, I had to teach my daughter it. But she got the idea of the game, but I can see she can do certain things. Yeah. So just to, let's say you have to do it, but I can say, oh, actually, you can score this now, or you can score that now. So, and then let her choose what she wants to do. But then, because she knows what points are, she'll look at it and go, well, that one has more points, I'll do that. Yeah. So you're sort of poking at it, but you don't like tell them you can do it. But you do that with your...
I do, yeah. And I think there is a fine line there between being a bit of an alpha gamer. It's much like playing a cooperative game. Yeah. I could see an optimum move here, but how can I point this out without seeming like, one, I'm telling them what to do. Yeah. Two, having someone else calling me out for telling someone what to do. It's like I'm just trying to be helpful and maximize our ability of winning the game here. But yeah, I find playing games with kids quite difficult, because obviously I am a quote unquote experienced gamer. I am constantly, when I'm playing a game, my mind is constant. Yeah. It's like, what are the paths? Well, how do I score? What does this path score? What does that path score? What does that path score? Okay, that's the most optimum path. Cool. I should do that. But then I'm like I said.
So the gamer in you is like saying, I should be doing this, but then your inner self is, the dad in you is like going, I've got to pace myself because I've got a new player here. Yeah.
You don't want to destroy this experience for your son.
This is it.
He needs to enjoy this. It's like, but he also doesn't need to be taught that every time he can win. Because
I get that, because you want them to learn, and I get it. I mean, there are some games I think my daughter beats me at. I mean, we played Spotlight, which I picked up at Essen. Yep. Venom doesn't know what it is. It's kind of like Where's Wally, if you will, but you have a little torchlight sort of thing. And as you can see, I wear glasses. My eyesight's terrible. She knows how to play the game because, again, I taught her. Of course, she probably beats me at it now. Yeah. But then I wonder if she goes through, shall I let Daddy win sometimes? Or because then Daddy won't want to play with me anymore. So I think it goes both ways. Again, it depends what you play with them at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to look at it. I don't think my son would be like that. I mean, he's a very, very nice young boy. And he likes pleasing everyone, but I don't think he would ever. I don't think it would ever cross his mind to go, "Oh, I need to let."
I wonder who he gets that from.
Can't be from me, not me at all. But yeah, it's this whole discussion is quite tough for me, because, like I said, I've only got the one son. Yeah. I was never a person about like, oh, I love kids sort of thing or anything like that. So I'm not really sure the best thing to do when it comes to playing games with children. So for God's sake, don't take advice from me. But it's always been on my mind. It's like, what should I do? You know, am I doing the right thing in teaching them a lesson of School of Hard Knocks by beating them at these games?
Yeah.
But
then you don't want them to not want to do it with you all the time if you're beating them. So.
Yeah. As you said, for me, board games, when he's here, it gets him away from the screen, because when he's not at home with me, he tends to play digital games quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, coming to Daddy's house is analog time.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's no screen time.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, we're not like an antiquated house. We have screens all over the house, in fact. But yeah, we do digital time is available here, but it's limited. Much when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's more about the physical activity, going out and playing football, drawing, artistic stuff, building, making, painting, all that kind of things as well. And all right, I didn't have quite as many board games involved in my life growing up, but that's the new thing. I would say for our family is we play games here. And it keeps him away from playing the likes of Fortnite and that. I'll use the term rubbish because that's exactly what I think it is. But yeah, mind-numbing stuff. But I also have a question for you, Ant, because if you were to go slightly easier on your children when you're playing the games, do you think it hinders them when it comes to learning bigger and better games? So for example, if you I'm teaching my son Cobra Paw and I'm going easy on him because I'm not snapping his fingers, and then we move up to, I don't know, like Draft and Write Records, for example, is he going to struggle because he's got so used to a nice easy game that he wins all the time to going to a game that I would find it very, very difficult to go easy on Draft and Write, because it is a roll and write. You need to maximize what you're doing.
But then it's kind of like a salesman, if you will. You've got to, what's in it for them? If you want them to play that game, what's in it for them? So like you said, Draft and Write Records, for example, you've got colourful pencils or pens that you can do these certain things with, which could be eye-catching for them and stuff. Or just simply, my daughter's an arts and crafts person, so any game with pens, she's in it. I mean, she'll even play long shot if she wants to, because it's got a pen in it from crying out loud. But yeah, it's one of those ones where, like we're going back to one of your earlier questions, is like, do I go easy or not? If it's a game I'm playing for the first time as well as them, it's like, how do I go easy on them? Because I don't know how to play the game, for example. So it's all about selling it. It's like, why are we sitting down tonight? Why are we playing this game? Look at the cards. Look at the artwork. It's got this mechanic maybe that kids would like you said, drawing, colouring, whatever. Yeah. Whereas this one's got metal tokens or something just to eye catch them or whatever, the noise thing or the sensory side to it, whatnot. So I think it's all about, if it's a specific game you want to play with them, you've got to sell it to them. Yeah. So why are we doing this one? Why has Daddy bought this game? And what's eye catching for him? Why does he like it? Oh, it's got dragons in it and little token components and whatnot. So this must be really cool. So that's how I would see it. Trying to get them to take, because it's not just my daughter. I've got nieces who try to play as well, and they're obviously younger than my daughter. So how do I get them to play? All right, let's get a game that's like Where's Wally? Let's etc. So they always want to get involved, even though they aren't of age of the game. Yeah. But how do you involve them as well? So it's like I say, you've got to be like a great car salesman, if you will. In my opinion,
and con them at every chance.
Yeah, and then like I know as gamers you don't want them to win every time, but maybe you got to get them once in a while to let them win. Obviously they wouldn't want to keep playing with you. They keep losing to Dad. Then why should I play? What's the point? Yeah.
So do you find yourself? I mean, excluding the age ratings that come on games anyway, do you find yourself deliberately choosing certain games that you wouldn't want to go easy on on playing with children, or do you, or would you play literally any game?
No, I think I'd still have to pick specific games for them because, again, it's let's bring challenges up, for example.
Okay.
Like, what's in it for her to play challenges? Flipping cards is not very exciting, is it? But then you've got lovely play mats or tokens and stuff that they might get into. But I can't exactly play Smartphone Inc. or Heat or something with her, could I? So I still need to go within that age range. And I'm always intrigued as to finding stuff that would attract her to play, or my nieces or nephews, whatever. And if they're just simple card games, like Cover Your Assets is a big hit in my family.
Yeah.
And all just because you put a card down, a pair of cards, and you put a pair of cards the other way around and you can steal them.
Yeah.
To kid, that's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Because I can take that off a person and stuff, you know?
Yep. So
it may not have to be the most complex game. It can just be the simplest of games to go, right, I want to play that game with Dad.
Yeah.
Or sometimes when we go to other family members' houses, Daddy, you bring in this game and whatnot, because they know of it. They know they're good at it.
Yeah.
Or they know there's a mechanic in it they really like to intrigue it to other family members and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you mentioned recently that you really like Star Tycoon.
Yes.
As a game. So if I was to say to you, for example, your daughters were able to play Star Tycoon with no problem whatsoever. They understood the game.
Okay.
Star Tycoon is actually quite a competitive game.
Yes.
Is that a game that you would want to play with them, knowing that you might have to take some not so optimum cards or not so optimum turns in order for them to sort of stay in the game and enjoy it? Because maybe while they know how to play the game, they're not quite as clued into it as you are.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah?
Yeah, because again, it's a game I like, and if I want to keep them interested in it, then maybe I just need to take a hit and, I couldn't take that card, or
like play it for a few times so that they get a bit more used.
I'm not going to go like it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like I might take a turn where I don't do that action, but then I might do it the next action or something.
Yeah.
Just to give them that little hint that they're winning, and then I might come back at the last minute. Who knows?
Yeah.
But just that sense of there is a way of, I think I'm going to take this home. It might not last minute sort of thing, maybe. But it's the thrill of getting there, isn't it, for kids? There's got to be something thrilling every time to like do that next action, isn't it? So
I mean, ultimately, the whole thing with playing games with kids is a new world for me.
Oh yeah, totally.
Really, because obviously, because he doesn't live with me the entire time, I only get to see him once a month, unfortunately. But we try to take advantage of that time to play board games and things like that. And he asks to play them, which is great, which means he enjoys them. And I feel like I've done an okay job.
Yes.
Because he's clearly interested in playing them. You know, most kids, when they're so used to being on a digital console the entire time, it would seem weird to me, at least, that he would then ask to do the board games in favour of doing the digital stuff. So I feel like I've done something right.
Yeah.
But I do also wonder to myself, like, have I made it too easy for him in the past? And maybe if I step it up a bit now, is that going to put him off? I don't know. I think...
Do you feel like you should have stepped him up a bit more back then? Or
I definitely feel like I could have upped the games we were playing a bit more or a bit sooner. You know, because we did stick to the lower level games for quite some time. And, you know, when I recently taught him Gantron Clever, for example, when he was down for the week, he instantly, he knew what he was doing. He understood it. So I was like, maybe I have waited too long for this, you know, and now, because I don't even, I can't remember if we've played Flamecraft with him. Right. So that's the kind of game that I definitely want to start playing with him.
Maybe give it a try, at least, and see what happens.
But ultimately, it's about kids enjoying the games and getting into the hobby.
Absolutely, yeah.
Without, I guess, crowbarring them into the hobby, because I think that's a lot where a lot of parents will make a mistake. It's forcing it upon their kids.
I think your child always knows that you have a love for something, and when they show that interest in, like, saying, even just saying, "Daddy, what's this?" and then you just stand and explain it to them and whatnot. Oh, okay, then you know you've done something right with, you're trying to put them in the spotlight. Like when I very rarely have time off for my kids because 2 jobs and whatnot. When I actually have time off, like an evening free, it's either movie night or game night.
Yeah.
Now, 7 out of 10 times it's movie night.
Yeah.
But when it's that last 3 and she says game night, then I feel like I've done right. I've done something right because she wants to play these. She knows of these games. Might need a reminder here and now and then what the rules are, whatnot. But it's that little spark to go, oh, she actually does want to play with me.
Yeah.
And I'm not forcing her to do it just to get away from screen time or not. She actually wants to have quality time around the table.
Yeah.
And like you said, if she didn't say that at all, then obviously... What's the whole point?
Yeah,
What I've got nothing achieved out of it.
I mean, I guess to say one thing I would say, especially from your collection, I know that you cycle games in and out of your collection quite a bit. I can't really say I've ever seen you cycling out family games.
No,
because they're the ones that are getting to your table.
This is it.
Quite a bit. So would you try and move them up to the slightly heavier stuff, or are you waiting a few years for that?
No, I mean I like to, but I want to do it like bit by bit because even simple games like Ra, for example, just a bidding game. I'd like to get her into stuff like that because again, it can help with maths and all that sort of stuff. So I would like to slowly get there eventually, but we'll have to take it bit by bit with that because I don't want her to again. Oh, it's a heavy game. I don't like it. I don't want to do this full stop anymore now. So
you don't want it to ruin the hard work.
Yeah. So we took a chance with Flamecraft. But again, because it looks, it's eye popping, it's catching, and the tokens are very sensory stuff, whatnot. I need to try and stick with some of those type of games for now, and then obviously if she gets a bit older, it's like here, let's try a bidding game.
Yeah, let's try this one. Yeah, but if you don't like it, just say we'll stop.
I mean, sometimes when we have the family game nights and we're playing around the table, and she looks at it and sees something, oh, what's this? And then that might intrigue her to. Try this one, like Lost Ruins of Arnak or something. Or just a worker placement game full stop. Yeah. So
you're going to try Critter Kitchen?
Yeah, let's see how it goes. I think she'd like that.
Yeah.
But I need a couple of plays of it first to see if she will...
play it with adults to make sure it is a family game.
It's definitely that sort of theme. Again, very Flamecraft, very colourful and, the wooden food token types. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be interested to see. And like I said, I'm definitely in for that. So this is good. But yeah, like I say, it's an interesting topic. Because I am very, very inexperienced with regards to playing games with kids. And, I run my own game club and all that, but it's on a school night when I run my game club. So I don't usually have the, below 14-year-olds turning up. And then at which point they're basically adults. So,
but do you think he has a love for playing them at all, or
I do, yeah. Because like I said, when he comes down, as sometimes if I've had a particularly bad week at work and he's down for the weekend, as bad as I feel, but if I'm exhausted, board games is the last thing on my mind.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But he'll ask to play them, and as soon as he asks to play them, it's like, yeah, okay, right, let's play them. I'm not going to say no. But yeah, there are times like that it makes me feel happy that he is asking to play them, and he's never gone through my collection and sort of gone, oh, what's that,
right,
sort of thing. Mainly because I think he knows that I obviously have a lot of games that are
would you sway him to something like Comic Hunters or something, or
I mean maybe I think he'd enjoy the theme of it, he'd enjoy the comics. I don't think he'd understand the full scoring side of it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think he would enjoy at least trying to learn it.
Would you change some of the rules for him to try and get it?
Well, I mean, that's the next question. Yeah, that is one of the last questions that I was going to ask is, do you find you have to change rules in games, for example?
Yeah.
Because it's very tough for me because obviously I have a strong stance against house ruling in games. To overcome that is very, very difficult for me. While there's been times that I've just gone, oh, we could do this and ignore this rule and do this instead. But then it's like, I can't go against the rule in the book.
And I think this is how house ruling got invented, was to help the kids with... I mean, we all started it with Monopoly, let's face it.
Yeah.
And it's gone on from there since, just to make it easier for people. And I think personally, house ruling has been made so it helps kids out with games.
Well, I mean, officially, house ruling in Monopoly is no longer house ruling because they've now released a version of Monopoly with all of those house rules.
Oh, really?
included. So it's no longer a house rule. But yeah, I think.
So yeah, so would you change Comic Hunter rules just to get him into it, for example? I mean, it's a very good theme for him today, isn't it?
I don't think I could change the rules of the game. I think I could use the components of the game to create something similar.
Right.
That might teach the basics of those set collecting things and how to score points and stuff like that before moving up to Comic Hunters. That I would probably do. Use components of a game to create a simpler version of said game, and then see how they go on with that. If they were okay with that, we'll move up to the proper version. But that's probably the most I would do when it comes to changing rules of a game. But have you changed rules of games to make things simpler?
I haven't of yet, but I would do it to, if it's like something heavy. Yeah, when we're talking about trying to get into slightly heavy stuff, I would probably change it just to swear in a bit.
Yeah.
And then obviously say, look, when she actually does get to play it properly, it's like, that's actually not the rule now. This is it. And I don't think she'll be heartbroken by it because, again, it got her into the game the end of the day.
Of course, yeah.
So I haven't of yet, but I would do it if it was a specific game I was really desperate for her to get into.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's a fair comment. So yeah, like I said, it was mainly a chat for me to try and learn some stuff, if I'm honest, because I need to know how to do this, right? You know, I'm not only ever going to be teaching games to adults. There's more and more people now that are asking me to family game days, at which point I need to know how to play games with kids.
Yeah.
Because I want to attend these things because, you know, I don't want to be that guy that just keeps saying no. You know, because a lot of them, you know, we're of an age where most of the people we know have got kids.
Yeah, totally.
So if we want to get these people into gaming, they're going to need their kids involved, or at least their kids around. So maybe some learning of how to play games with kids that aren't in the game, for example. That might be something else I need to look into. But so yeah, I feel like I've learned a little bit from this discussion today. And I hope to implement some of those things very soon.
I hope to carry on with it as well. I'm not going to stop getting her into it, but I don't want to force her as much now. Yeah. I felt like, because when I was getting into it, COVID hit.
Of course.
So we had games to play, but I didn't want to force her to do it. So when we were bored during COVID, we actually made our own game. Yeah. It's only like something simple. Obviously, the typical roll the dice, you move and do this. Yeah. Move back 3 spaces, whatever. But it just got her into it. And she probably won't admit it now, but she's a gamer.
Yeah.
And that's primarily because of me. Whether she wants to continue with it in her later life, it's up to her. But it's time with her. It's time with your little man as well. Yeah. And I don't want to look back and go like, I never tried it with her. Yeah. You know, I'm glad I have. Yeah. And now it's up to her whether she wants to continue or not. And at the moment she does. So
yeah, it's good. It's quality time, quality family time, and as I said earlier, hopefully creating memories.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
But the answer to your question at the very start of the topical was let them win a couple goes, but then after that it's all in. It's king making from then after that. So
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No holds barred after that.
So yeah, just for set the record straight, I don't go all
no
on destroying my son in every game. I'm not that harsh, although it has been tempting sometimes. You know, when he doesn't do his homework or his room's a mess, then I think he deserves a damn good spanking in the in whatever game it is we're playing. Yeah. So awesome. That's the end of the topical, I guess. Yeah. I think we covered a decent amount of time talking about that. Probably more than I thought we were going to, if I'm honest. But it's good. What's the plans for this coming week then, Ant? Is there any gaming on the?
Well, I'm back to work. I'm back to work, Jason. Now. It was nice while it lasted. So not as much, but hopefully we'll still get another session in at some point. Yeah,
I think I'm hoping to have a game night tomorrow. Which I know you're working early, which you're obviously invited to, should you be able to make it.
Yep.
But you have some horrible hours.
I'll be there.
Horrible hours you have there.
Started.
But you've got a night off soon. before transitioning to doing some night shifts.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
I might bite the bullet and just show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Why not? So yeah, I'm hoping to get some games to the table soon. We definitely need to get Planet Unknown to the table.
Yes.
I really want to play Critter Kitchen.
Yep.
And I think there's some games I need to get to the table. Well,
and I need one more round of Rock Hard as well with more players.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
We'll do that. But yeah, we got some interesting videos coming soon, so watch the channel for that.
But what's your version of the topical? Do you go all in on your kids, or do you like take it easy with them or whatnot? Why don't you leave a comment and let us know what you feel about the topical?
Do it. What's your favourite saying?
Comment below and let us know.
That's it. I love it. I need to get a wording of that done. But no, really, really good. Yeah, let us know down in the comments what your thoughts are on this subject. People like to insult me, so please do feel free to tell me that I'm wrong in pummeling my son into the dirt when it comes to games. And that Ant is the responsible adult amongst us. The dad of the year. So yeah, that's what the comment section's for. Hit it and let us know. And give it a like as well. All that.
And subscribe.
That fun stuff. Oh, and subscribe, yeah. YouTube stuff. But yes, thank you very much for coming this weekend.
Thank you. I
think we can head off because I'm actually getting quite tired. I know you've got an early shift, so yeah, looking forward to it.
No,
I didn't think so. I've got a fairly late start tomorrow, so I'm quite happy.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, anytime. You know me, always happy to help.
It's it. Thanks for Jason.
But yeah, till next time. I have been Jason.
I've been Ant.
And you have been listening or watching the Meeple Minded Podcast. Join us next time for more tabletop gaming goodness. Ta-ta and goodbye.